powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on KAJ, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Don Fisher. A homeless man was found dead in a Kalispell parking lot early Monday morning, and officials believe he died about a week before he was found. 61-year-old David Martinez of California was found in his van, which was parked at the Kalispell Walmart. Sheriff Chuck Curry says he was living in that vehicle. Employees of the store found the body after they noticed the van had been sitting in the parking lot for quite some time and went to go check in. Martinez was found frozen inside of a sleeping bag. Curry says they believe he died of natural causes, but are awaiting tests to confirm that.
At this point, we have submitted his blood to the Montana State Crime Lab for toxicology. We'll see what we get back. The cause of death is currently pending. But it is a rough time of the year to be homeless in northwest Montana, pretty much anywhere in Montana for that matter. And unfortunately, these people fall oftentimes on unfortunate circumstances.
And Curry says it's unknown how long Martinez had been dead before his body was found, but the death likely occurred before Christmas. A snowmobile triggered an avalanche that partially buried a person on New Year's Day. The Flathead Avalanche Center reports that the incident happened at the elevation about 5,200 feet on the Grave Creek Road cutout in the Whitefish Range. Two snowmobilers were crossing under a road cut and slightly side-hilling above the road when they accidentally triggered the slope above them. The lead rider kept riding unaware of the avalanche, while the second rider was knocked off of his sled and buried mid-chest. That's according to the center. The first rider turned back around and helped dig him out, and the center reports that dangerous avalanche conditions still exist in the wake of the significant storm that ended last weekend. And another chilly but quiet day for weather in the region, but we may see a shift later in the week. For more, let's toss it over to Chief Meteorologist Erin Yost for a look at her first forecast. Erin.
Yeah, and with that, we did see those low clouds continuing, kind of that cloud deck across most of the Flathead, if not all of the Flathead Valley throughout much of the day today, even a few flurries at times. We do have a system, a weak system, approaching from the west that could pop a couple of light snow showers as we head into the first half of the day tomorrow on Wednesday. Wednesday evening, I'm anticipating a big lack of cloud cover, quiet Thursday expected, but with that, we could see our next system approaching hot on the heels of this one. For tomorrow, that one might be a little bit larger, a bigger substance with some warmer temps as well. More details coming up.
Thank you, Erin. Kalispell City Council met Tuesday night to welcome in a new council member and bid farewell to a longtime Ward 3 councilman, Jim Atkinson. The meeting began with City Manager Doug Russell thanking Atkinson for his 29 years served on the council. Russell also told stories about Atkinson and praised some of the key decisions he made in his time on the council. Atkinson spoke briefly and thanked the staff at City Hall and the entire community of Kalispell. Newly elected council member Kyle Waterman, who unseated Atkinson in November, was introduced to the council and sworn in. Once Waterman was sworn in and the new council sat, they voted to have Chad Graham of Ward 2 serve as the new council president. Waterman says his family has a history of public service and he is committed to bettering the community.
My grandmother and my mom were both in public service, so it was always raised that this is something we do in Montana, that we take care of our neighbors, that we take care of our neighbors as if they are family. So what can we do to make it a strong city is important to me.
And the City Council will be closed on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, making the next meeting on Tuesday, the 16th. Whitefish has a new municipal court judge for the first time in 32 years. Judge Bill Heilman began his duties today after years serving as a local attorney. Heilman's day-to-day duties include handling all various citations, violations, and cases that come before him on the municipal court level. Whitefish City Manager Adam Hammett says he'll have plenty on his plate, as the city usually sees 3,500 to 4,000 municipal cases a year. And it was a history-making day in Helena politics. The city's first ever African-American mayor was sworn in. A crowd filled the state capitol rotunda Tuesday to watch Wilmot Collins officially take over as Helena's mayor. Collins narrowly defeated longtime mayor Jim Smith in November's elections. His victory drew national attention because of his life story, and Collins came to Helena more than 20 years ago as a refugee from Liberia. He's called the time since the election a whirlwind.
It's been busy. But you know what? For the people of Helena, I'll do it again.
Two city council members were also sworn in today. The three ran together in the November elections as a self-described progressive slate of candidates. They've promised to tackle big issues like affordable housing and public safety funding. In the crowded race for Montana's only U.S. House seat has one less candidate today. Democratic State Representative Tom Woods of Bozeman says he's dropping out. However, his withdrawal still leaves 5 Democrats vying to challenge Republican incumbent Greg Gianforte this year. In a post on his personal Facebook page, Woods says that he just can't compete with the deep financial pockets of at least 2 of his competitors in the Democratic primary. He noted that attorney John Heenan of Billings and former Land Trust Director Grant Keir of Missoula have already raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and Woods says that they have well over 10 times what he's been able to raise so far. The 56-year-old Woods joined the race late last summer after Keenan and Keir began their campaigns. Candidate filings begin next week, and Democrats will choose their nominee for the House race in the June 5th primary election. A Missoula legislator who played key roles in passing criminal sentencing reforms last year is now joining the State Department of Corrections. The department announced Tuesday that State Senator Cynthia Wolken will be the agency's new deputy director starting Wednesday. Wolken, a Democrat, chaired the 2015 Commission on Sentencing that proposed sweeping reforms for Montana's criminal sentencing laws. Wolken says she looks forward to moving the ball forward on changes that will save the taxpayers money while maintaining public safety. Wolken is an attorney who was elected to the state Senate in 2014. And it's been a year since Whitefish City Manager Adam Hammett took over and still considers finding more affordable housing his top priority. As MTN's Nicole Miller reports, they're even forming a new committee this year to reach that goal.
When the city of Whitefish welcomed a new city manager last year, Adam Hammett, a Great Falls native, brought with him more than a decade of experience in local government, and he's been putting it to good use.
We're a happening city, and there's a lot of things going on. When I got out here, we were just a few months away from moving into City Hall, so I kind of got thrown into the fire with the City Hall project and trying to get that wrapped up. I think things turned out really well. We're really pleased with the product that we have.
Hammett also told us when he first took the job, one of his top priorities on his agenda was more affordable housing. And after just about a year on the job, Hammett says affordable housing is still the biggest issue plaguing the city.
Affordable housing continues to be the #1 priority for the city. And I've mentioned this numerous times that now that all of the stakeholders in the community see this as an important issue. Everyone has come together to make this a top priority, and not just the city. I think a lot of the responsibility and different things are going to fall on the city, and that's why we're pushing hard to keep things moving forward.
Hammett says there's even a possibility the city could see ground broke on housing projects in 2018.
And so that's why we're creating the steering committee. And the resolution was just approved by the council here at the beginning of December. Our applications are in. They're going to be doing some interviews tonight, and they're going to be appointing the seats for the steering committee to move this process forward.
Reporting for MTN News, Nicole Miller, Whitefish.
Hammett took over for Chuck Stearns, who had served as city manager for 8 years. Going into 2018, Democratic Senator Jon Tester will have many issues on his plate, one being a Senate re-election run. However, today, while speaking at the Kiwanis Luncheon in Missoula, Tester looked back at 2017 and his year working for Montanans.
Well, we've seen a 400% increase in people that are calling and emailing and writing us letters. And that's pretty amazing, because that means the civic engagement is good, and we're able to take those inputs and get some good ideas from them, and end up with some pieces of legislation that really work for Montanans.
And Tester believes the political atmosphere in Washington, D.C. is the reason for the spike in public comments to his office. He'll be kicking his year off by working on Veterans Affairs bills, regulation relief for community banks, and a Blackfoot Clearwater bill which deals with outdoor recreation. Tester hinted towards an infrastructure bill in 2018, which the White House is preparing to unveil.
If we end up getting put on an infrastructure bill, how we pay for that infrastructure bill is going to be critically important. Whether it's going to be all public dollars, because quite frankly, in a state like Montana, toll roads don't work, and they're not going to work. So we've got to get something that actually works for rural states like Montana.
And as for the recent passing of the tax overhaul bill, Tester said Montanans will see a benefit. However, future generations will be paying for those benefits with an increase in national debt. Up next, Aaron is back with a chilly forecast for the rest of your week. And we aren't the only ones dealing with winter. One person was killed and at least 22 cars crashed in a multi-vehicle accident near Buffalo. See this scary video up next.